MX2 race 1 on a fast drying circuit. Tommy Searle looked to go up the inside as Jeffrey Hurlings, who was disadvantaged from a 28th position qualifying race on Saturday, tried to come around the outside. But Jose Boutron and Jeremy Van Hoorbeek, they traded paint and a little bit more on more than one occasion during the early stages of the race. This was the first of maybe 2 or 3 occasions that the Spaniard got the better of the Belgian. Tommy Searle, though, who was in 3rd position, had to pull his bike over on the end of the first lap as his bike came to a halt. Boutron went back after Van Hoorbeek, and that was the result. Van Hoorbeek was able to pick himself up and back into the race. Eventually he would come home in 3rd position, but no one saw Joel Roelants coming in as Boutron and Jake Nichols traded over 1st and 2nd position. Roelants caught them both off guard and went through to lead. Hurlings, who was fighting his way back, was in 3rd, going after Jake Nichols. Nichols made that mistake a moment ago, and that was it. He came home in 4th, as that pass there from Jeremy Van Hoorbeek meant he came through 3rd. Roelants came home to win his 2nd win of the year. Torrential rain before the start of MX2 left the circuit pretty much waterlogged. Tommy Searle was looking for a good start, so too was Hurlings. Up the inside, the 2 Kawasaki's crept, but then Tommy Searle suffered a rear wheel malfunction that threw him down the track just before the completion of lap 1. And, well, you'll see in a moment that he came back in for a pit stop, but he rejoined the race and wasn't able to pick up any points. Up front, though, it was Jeremy Van Hoorbeek, Jordi Tixier and Jeffrey Hurlings who battled over the first 3 places, and Tommy Searle eventually called it a day. Couldn't do anything. He was 2 laps down on the rest of the field. So Jeffrey Hurlings then tried to find his way back onto the rear wheel of 911, while his teammate was looking comfortable up front and eventually would go on to win the race. But Joel Roelants, once again, after making a pit stop in 5th position, found his way past Jeffrey Hurlings before his bike expired, leaving the championship chase just that little bit more open. Van Hoorbeek won the race, Roelants won the Grand Prix, Tixier the first time on a podium for him in 2012. And that was your podium right there, Roelants, Van Hoorbeek and Jordi Tixier. No points though for Jeffrey Hurlings in Moto number 2, but he was still the championship leader as we head to Russia. MX1 race 1 on a near perfect track. Tony Cairoli found himself up the inside, and in a 20-lap race he was never headed. Behind him was Rui Gonçalves, Clement de Sal and Kevin Strybos. De Sal, though, the new championship leader, found himself going down in a bizarre move that, had it worked, would have been genius, but it didn't. It left him down on the deck, and he had to come through from around about 15th position to get anywhere. He made another mistake and would only finish it in 7th position. Gauthier Paulin and Ken de Dijker, they eventually battled over 3rd place, the big Belgian going through. Next in de Dijker's sights was the Honda of number 999, Rui Gonçalves, and an easy move in the end through the left-hander meant that it was a Red Bull KTM 1-2 because Tony Cairoli, the winner here in Moto number 1. In MX1 race 2, they managed to do some work on the start straight, and Tony Cairoli once again found himself going through turn 1. He led for 3 laps, but then he crashed on the tabletop, almost got connected by Gauthier Paulin as he came through. That dropped him down to 5th position. More importantly, though, Clement de Sal found himself going past his rival, and that was a couple more points gained back on Tony Cairoli. Clement de Sal tried to close down Kevin Strybos, our race leader, while number 21, Gauthier Paulin and Ken de Dijker went at it. De Dijker really on a charge, coming from 7th on the first lap. He then found himself in 3rd behind Tony Cairoli after a mistake from Clement de Sal. Left him crashing down into 4th position in the race. Rui Gonçalves was running pretty good, up and down between 6th and 7th, eventually coming home in 5th. But Clement de Sal, well, it was an opportunity lost for him after that mistake. But Kevin Strybos came home to win his first race since 2007. The final Grand Prix of that season at Lero. The overall Grand Prix was Tony Cairoli, Kenda Dyker, and once again for the second week in a row, Kevin Strybos, HM Plant, KTM UK Machine. And despite that wrist injury after that crash, Tony Cairoli was still able to manage to hold on to the red plate going into Russia.